Mark, we're here to talk about Without a Pain. Your new album is your second solo album after Anesthetic. It took you 6 years to do it. It's a continuation of what you showed earlier, or is just a new facet of your music?
Well, I mean, I think it's both. I think it's a continuation of me pursuing music that's very much outside of the lane of Lamb of God, which is obviously what I'm known for most. So in that sense, it's a continuation, but I think it's new in the sense that this album, probably more than anything I've done, reflects the music that I'm personally really a fan of and the kind of music I play at home and the type of music I listen to and that I've really been a fan of all my life.
Well, this new album, Without a Pain, is full of references of sounds of southern rock, country, more than the previous one. Growing in Virginia, I guess they were an integral part of your life when you grew up.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, if you grew up when I grew up, where I grew up, that this is the kind of music that was really all around you. Not the only kind of music, but it was certainly very much a part of my foundation. I think really culturally and musically.
Following that line, in the previous album, you had names like Ronnie Blythe, Chester Bennington, Lisa Whitelaws. Now we have Cut Jinks, Jason Esville, or Jaron Johnston. For your metal fans, at least outside the United States, maybe they will only recognize the names of Troy Sanders from Mastodon. But do you think you will open a new panorama about your music and about this musical culture?
I don't know that I gave that much thought. I think for me, the purpose and really the goal, when I do this kind of project is just to suit my own personal interests. It's maybe a little bit selfish. It's really the music that I wanted to play and the music I wanted to write songs with, and I really enjoyed writing songs with everyone on this record. So I don't know that I felt like I an ambition or a responsibility to expose people to any new artists or new music. If that happens, I think that's great. And I think it will happen to some degree. But honestly, my motivations were purely just to make the music that I wanted to make, and to focus on songwriting and kind of getting all these sounds out of my head and giving them a place to live.
Sure. Well, your solo music is a bit quieter than you usually do with Lamb of God, that is all extreme metal and thrash metal. It's your moment of relaxation, like, oh, I need to turn down the revolutions for a moment and make this kind of music.
It's not really because I honestly don't listen to a lot of heavy metal music. That might surprise some of your audience. And that's not because I don't like it. It's just simply because I get so much of it with Lamb of God that I'm a songwriter, I'm a musician. I want to do lots of different things. So, Lamb of God is a lot of my musical life, but it's not all of it. That's for sure.
When you started to compose the composition process for this new album, because it took 6 years.
Mhm. When did I start? Oh, I don't know. I didn't sit down and say, okay, now I'm going to write a new solo record. It doesn't really work like that with me. So I don't know. I didn't put a star on the calendar that I'm starting today. It's just different song ideas. Some of the songs take a couple years to come to life. Some of them come to life in a matter of a couple days. It's like that with Lamb of God too. Sometimes ideas are hanging around for a long time, and sometimes we sort of come up with something on the spot. Um, so I don't know. I've been working on it for a number of years. It takes time mainly because, well, two reasons. One, I'm very, very busy with Lamb of God, so I have to work in the open spaces. And two, there's a lot of other artists involved in this project. So coordinating everyone else's schedule to work on something like this is a task um, uh, in and of itself. So that's why it took so long, and just really to get the vision for a new project to have something that I felt like was worth pursuing. It takes a lot of work to put these things together. So, I had to collect songs and kind of get a vision for the project. And then work in between the spaces of Lamb of God and everyone else's schedule.
Wait, well, when you are in the process of composing a song, how did you finally decide which song will be for your solo work or which will be for Lamb of God?
Well, none of these songs would make for a Lamb of God song. So this time it was really easy. I think on the first album, there were a couple songs that were pretty heavy metal influenced, and maybe that was a little bit more of a process. But it's hard to picture any of these songs being on a Lamb of God record.
Well, Mark, last year you released your biography, Desolation, and this album is kind of continuation of that narrative. How is complicated to take your life, your personal life, and talk it so openly for thousands of millions of people so publicly?
Yeah, I think I just made a decision. It wasn't something, once I decided to write that book, I really didn't look over my shoulder much at all. I think the challenge was deciding to do it. And then once I flipped that switch and said, okay, I'm going to write this book and tell this story, um, I just told the story. I don't really care. Like, I'm not really like ashamed or embarrassed of it. It's my life, you know what I mean? So, hopefully people, find something they relate to in it or find some source of some kind of spirit in the book if they take the time with it. And if not, that's cool too. I don't it's my life, so it just kind of is what it is. It's not good, bad, better, or worse. It's just what happened.
But Mark, um, I think you are working too on a new Lamb of God album. How is that new album going?
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Well, I
One never knows what's going on around here with Lamb of God.
maybe, but you will be in Mexico with Lamb of God, but Monterrey only at the end of the year. There are plans for more dates.
I couldn't tell you when that one is, to be honest. You'd have to ask my manager. Um, I don't know. I haven't seen a calendar for anything after 2025. So, but of course, there's always more dates. We always come to Mexico. We love Mexico.